Hey everyone, Credit Shuffle here, and today we are going to be looking at the new United Mileage Plus Explorer card that came out on June 1st. This is kind of a new edition of an original card. They've added certain things and they've taken away a few things as well. So we're going to have a look at this card and just talk about, is it worth getting or not? Let's go. So first up, we have the sign-up bonus on this card, which is 40,000 United miles for $2,000 worth of spending in the first 3 months, and you also get an additional 5,000 United miles for adding an authorized user. And in addition to this, you get a $100 statement credit when you make your first purchase. And this whole sign-up bonus is an offer that's available until July 16th. So I don't know what's going to happen after July 16th. I'm guessing maybe the $100 statement credit will be taken away because 40,000 miles sounds like a more standard sign-up bonus without that statement credit for cards in this range. This card falls into what I call a tier 3 card. I'm guessing probably it's the $100 statement credit that's going to go halfway through July, but I don't know. So if you want this sign-up bonus, 40,000 miles, 5,000 for an authorized user, and a $100 statement credit after your first purchase, make sure you apply for this card before 7/16, July 16th. And just another thing for people who have had this card before and cancelled it, if you want to apply again and get the sign-up bonus, you can't have had a sign-up bonus for this card in the last 24 months, okay? That's not opening the card in the last 24 months, but actually receiving the sign-up bonus in the last 24 months. So if you had the card before and had the sign-up bonus, you might want to just check that it was more than 24 months ago that you had that sign-up bonus last time, so that you make sure you get your sign-up bonus on this one as well, if you're getting the card again. Now let's look at some of the new features that have been added to this card. So they've added 2 additional 2x point earning categories, okay, United mile earning categories. So you now earn 2 United miles per dollar on dining, and also 2 United miles per dollar on hotel accommodation, but it has to be booked directly with hotels. So you can't earn the 2 points per dollar through Expedia. You have to directly go to, Hilton's website, etc. And book. Now these new point earning categories are good. It means that people definitely will use the cards more, but if you are informed about this kind of thing, you know that earning 2 United miles on hotel purchases and on dining isn't really that great. So first of all, dining, if you have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, which its effective annual fee is only $55 more than the United card, it earns 3 points per dollar on dining, Chase UR points, and those can be transferred to United at a 1-to-1 ratio. So basically you could earn 3 United miles per dollar on dining with the Sapphire Reserve, but only 2 with this card. So which card are you realistically going to use if you have the Sapphire Reserve, right? Also with hotels, right? If you earn, so this card earns 2 points per dollar booking directly with hotels, but if you have the credit card of that hotel chain, like for example Hilton, SPG, Marriott, those cards earn more than that booking directly with the hotel. I think my Hilton Ascend card earns like 12 Hilton points or something on Hilton purchases. The SPG Marriott cards, they all earn, I think, 5 points now in the new points currency, or is it 6? It's 6, yeah, so 6 points in the new points currency at Marriott and SPG hotels. So maybe if you're staying at a small hotel that's not part of a chain and you use the card at that hotel, it would be worth it. But if you're staying at big hotel chains, the co-branded cards are normally going to earn way more value in points than this United card would. So, although it's definitely an improvement, if you are in the know about these things, I would be like, I'd prefer to use my hotel card. Anyway, you now get a $100 global entry credit. In fact, it's global entry or TSA pre, which is $85, but in reality, why would you go for TSA pre when you can get global entry? Because global entry includes TSA pre anyway, so you might as well just get the full $100 reimbursement for global entry. That's definitely a plus. You don't often see it on cards with a $95 annual fee like this one does have. And you also get 25% off in-flight purchases on United. So Wi-Fi, food and drink, etc. on board, 25% off. So that's great. I'm not going to criticize that. That's great for someone who's going to be, traveling United a lot domestically. For me though, most of the travel I do is international, where, food and drink on board are going to be paid for in the price of the ticket anyway. So I don't really often buy stuff on planes. You know what I mean? I very rarely travel domestically. But you know, if you are the sort of person who does travel a lot domestically, that's definitely a big plus of this card. All right, now let's have a look at what has changed. So there used to be a 10,000 United mile bonus after spending $25,000 on the card in 1 year. That has gone, okay? It doesn't exist anymore. Personally, I don't really think it's a big loss. After all, 10,000 United miles isn't that much. The cheapest redemption for a one-way Saver award domestically is 12,500 miles, so it wouldn't even get you the cheapest United flight in terms of points anyway. You know, when there's such a big opportunity cost, you know, you could use the CSR for dining for 3 points per dollar, you could use the Hilton card, SPG card, Marriott card at those hotels and earn way more value in points than you would from the United card at hotels. I don't think you're actually going to end up putting $25,000 a year on this card anyway. But if you are, then obviously you're losing out on that. Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. Right, the other big thing that is being removed is price and return protection. That's being removed from this. So if you don't know, price protection is basically if you buy an item and you see it for a cheaper price from another merchant, the credit card will actually refund you the difference in price. I think it was up to 90 days after you bought the item. So, you know, it protects you from being charged a higher price for something when it comes available cheaper. It also means, you know, if you have products that are released at a high price and after a month or two they drop down the price, you can be the first to buy it, but then you get it at the price that's, you know, after the sort of, you know, wave of interest has gone. Return protection also protects you in the case where a merchant won't accept a return. The credit card will refund you instead. So that's all going from this card. And Chase actually got rid of price protection on the Sapphire Reserve recently. It's been getting rid of it on several cards. You know, I guess it's just them cutting costs. Obviously, it sucks if you have used that perk because it is a potentially very lucrative benefit and probably one that actually not many people think of using because it's kind of hidden there in the small print. It's not really publicized like with the points and miles and all that kind of stuff. So it's a bit of a shame that that is going. All right, now let's look at what is the same. Now you get free first check bags for up to 2 travelers when you use the card to book the ticket. Now that's obviously going to be more important for domestic travel because that's the only time when you'd have to pay for check bags. Internationally, it's normally included in the ticket. So for me, I don't really care. It's neither here nor there. But obviously, for people who do a lot of domestic travel, that is going to be a great perk. You get priority boarding in group 2, so you're not the very first group, but you're definitely ahead of the crowd. That's also going to be more important for domestic travel because obviously with domestic you've got to normally pay for checked bags, so a lot of people don't check a bag and they take a ridiculously big carry-on, and then, you know, all the overhead bins fill up, and if you're one of the last people to board the plane, you'll often find the case where your bag is like 4 or 5 rows down the aircraft. It's not directly above your head, and it's really annoying. All right, so, you know, early to board the plane, being early to board the plane is definitely a good thing. Even if it's international and you don't have such an issue of the overhead bins filling up, it's just better anyway to be on there earlier. You can get in your seat and stuff, so that's definitely a very positive thing. You get 2 one-time use United Club passes. Now, this is something which is pretty awesome. The card has already had this, always had this benefit, but United Club passes, now this isn't the Polaris Lounge. You only get into the United Club with this, which looks like this. No, I'm just kidding. It looks like this. United Club, you know, obviously US lounges, they're okay, you know, it's not the Emirates Lounge or anything, but it's decent. United Club passes cost $59 a time for the one-time use passes. So for these 2 passes together, that's $118 in value. So that actually pays for the annual fee of $95. So if you use these passes every year, you know, you find a time to make use of them when you would have wanted to go in a United Club anyway. Obviously, if it's extra money you wouldn't have spent, then it's not a true saving. But if you would have paid for United Club, using these passes saves you over $100, so it completely cancels out the annual fee. So that's great. There are no foreign transaction fees on this card. That's, you know, something you'd expect from a card that costs around $100 a year. And you also get a premier qualifying dollar waiver if you spend over $25,000 on the card in 1 year. Now, what this is, United, when you move up through the sort of tiers, you have to spend a certain amount of money and you have to fly a certain amount of miles. Now, this waiver covers you up to platinum. So to get platinum status, you have to spend $9,000, and then you also have to collect 75,000 premier qualifying miles from flying, okay? So this cancelled out the spending requirement. You don't have to spend $9,000 anymore. You can buy cheaper tickets. There's no spending requirement. There's just the 75,000 Premier qualifying miles requirement. Now, obviously, you're going to earn more miles on more expensive fare classes, so it doesn't mean that you're getting a totally free ride, but it just means that you have to accumulate only the miles and not the spending. Just one word of advice as well: if you buy basic economy fares, they don't earn Premier qualifying miles. So if you want to earn the Premier qualifying miles and move up through status, you can't buy the basic economy fares. I wouldn't buy one of those anyway, they suck, but And just lastly, like we've said before, the card has a $95 annual fee waived for the first year. So who would I recommend this card for? Well, I would say that it's a great card for someone who does a lot of domestic travel on United. So up here in the Northeast, be someone who flies out of Newark Airport a lot. That's United's hub to other cities in the United States. And the reason I say that is because obviously you get the priority boarding group 2, you get the 2 free checked bags, and you also get those 2 United Club passes. Those alone, if you're traveling like once a month over the year, that would by far exceed the annual fee, the amount of savings that you would be getting if you're utilizing all those perks. And so yeah, for someone who does a lot more international travel, I don't think this card is anywhere near as exciting. Also, for someone who wants to earn a lot of points, I also do not think this card is that exciting, unless you're just getting it really for the sign-up bonus. But the actual point earning on it, you'd be better off putting your spending on the Sapphire Reserve for those, dining and hotels categories. You're going to be earning 3 points per dollar rather than 2. So point earning, it's really nothing special. All right, guys, that's my little review and analysis of the United Plus Explorer card. Remember to get that special sign-up bonus with the extra $100 statement credit you've got until July 16th. I've been the Credit Shifu. As always, please subscribe if you're new, give this video a like, and we'll see you next time with more credit card tips and tricks. Bye-bye.